Here's our existing video surveillance system with a DVR. 4 views, 3 out the front of the house, 1 out the back of the house. As you can see, there's no cables showing. They run through the wall into the closet behind, which is exactly what I want to do with the new system. This is a 4-channel system and we wanted more cameras, so we bought an 8-channel system. We're going to add it as a second system. It only comes with 4 cameras, so we'll end up with 8 cameras right away, and then later on we can add 4 more to have a total of 12 around the house. So here's the wall that I've picked for the installation of the new surveillance system. I'll remove the picture. That's a Schaefer Miles print. We'll have to find someplace else to put that. This is on the same wall as the TV, so most of the room will have a clear vision of it. It'll be 4 cameras to start out, 8 cameras later, and we just want to be able to keep an eye on things outside of our house. I will mount the TV, drill a hole through the wall, put a shelf on the back side of the wall, which is in the utility room. Then I will be able to mount the system on the other side of the wall, and there will be no cord showing on this side. Not exactly sure why I'm so worried about the cord showing, because they show on our TV, but still like it that way. So here's the TV mount. That's the original mount that was bought with it back in 2005. Mount came with all the hardware along with 2 HDMI cables, and it cost like 50 bucks, which at the time that's what they were going for, and that was outrageous. You can now go to Harbor Freight and get a mount like this one for $14.99. It doesn't come with cables, but I'm okay with that. I want a mount, I don't want cables. Several of the other TVs in the house are mounted with the Harbor Freight mount, and they work the same. There really isn't a big difference. Okay, so I just cut the hole through it. I of course used a Harbor Freight hole saw. Worked very well. I used a bigger mandrel on it, although that's not required for this smaller cup. I used 2 1/8. I'll get a piece of weatherstripping and put around that, and that'll be, you can get what's called data rings. It'll also custom fit those. That is to keep the cables from injuring the drywall. Okay, so now that I've cut the hole, I can go on the other side and decide where I'm going to mount the shelf. The shelf for the main system has to be somewhat close to the hole, because you don't want wires on that side running all over the place. But doing this lets me put the power and the connection to the main system through the wall and not have cables dangling. Okay, so I'm ready to mount the TV on the mount. I have pre-staged the HDMI cable and the power cable, so that when I hang those, I won't have to see cables dangling. So here's the other side of the wall where I drilled the hole for the cables, and you see them hanging down. Unfortunately, the power outlet's on the other side, so I'm going to have to run an extension cord around to it. But now I need to get a shelf in there to put this on, and some way to route those cables so that they're neat and dressed. So let's get started on that. Well, the lighting isn't good on this shot, but I managed to install a shelf that went all the way down through there. I'm going to put the system here on the end, and I went ahead and put it all the way to the end so that I could put other supplies. It's a cantilever shelf. It will hold weight, but I don't want to put a whole lot of weight on that. So it's just for light storage. Okay, so let's start assembling the unit. First thing is the unit itself. The unit's going to sit right here. The cables will come up here. The unit will sit here. And there's enough room back there for the cables. I'm going to turn it sideways while we set it up so that we can view what's going on. So I have HDMI cable. That's going to go out to the TV. I need a power cord. So I've got a power cord. I ran an extension, so I'm going to put these cables in. Cable for the TV. I also need cable for the cameras, so that's the same power supply as this one. So I'll go ahead and plug it in. I need a power splitter for the cameras, and there's the boot process. You'll hear it beep 5 times, and now it'll start displaying on the TV in there. So you plug the power supply into the splitter. Now I have power for 4 cameras. So let's get us a camera. Now for a camera, I need a complete setup. I need a cable and a camera. This is a 60-foot cable. I'm going to leave it bound up just to make it easier for me. I've connected the B and C cable And the power. So the power is going to be just like the other end. It's going to be a receptacle in the normal plug. There's my camera. There's B and C. I'm going to lay the cables up there. I'm going to lay the camera up there. Now to hook these up, I'm going to hook up camera 1. There's B and C. Now the power goes to one of the splitters. Now this looks like crap, but I don't know any other way to show it to you. But once it's in place, it'll be a lot neater. I can hide some of this excess cable in between the walls here. Now one thing I didn't think of when I bought the system and did this design is it has a remote. Now the other system, we have a mouse to use it with, but with the unit on this side of the wall and the TV on that side of the wall, it's going to be hard to make a movement and know what's going on the TV. So I come up with a solution for that. Luckily there's no air conditioning in the utility room, so I'm sweating like a horse. So I went and got a USB extension cable. So it just basically lets you plug a USB device into here. This plugs into the unit. I have probably a 6-foot one. I happen to have this. You can go to about any computer place and get these. I'm going to put the end where you plug a mouse into through the wall to the other side. And I'm going to plug this end into right here. So I'm going to hide all of this extra cable in the wall. On the other side, I'm going to use this trackball. I'll be able to stand in front of the unit, look at the video, and adjust it using the trackball. So got around that problem. The remote's never going to work because you're going to stand in front of the TV and the signal's never going to get over here to the unit. I could get an IR extender and put over there. Not worth it to me. The mouse works very well. That's what we use with our existing system. So I've made it that far, and then when I run the cables for the cameras, it'll go all the way down to the end and go up so that I'm at the center of the attic so I can get to the cables and then run them to wherever I want them to go. Okay, so this is where I decided to put the TV. I think that's going to work out well. It's going to be high enough that nothing's going to block the view, and it's going to be on the same wall as the TV. This TV is a flat screen, but it's not a smart TV. This was bought in 2005, so it's 13 years old. It was made before the smart TV, so it's just going to be a display, so that works out good for us. This is an excellent use for older TVs that aren't smart TVs, because everybody wants a smart TV, right? In moving, we ended up with an extra TV because we bought 2 new TVs for the new house while we kept the 2 TVs at the old house. So this one came up extra when we sold the old house. Okay, so here's the system first booted up. I have one camera on. It's pointed at nothing. It's got a logo and 8 displays with 1 blank. This is the USB extension cable that I put through the wall. I'll plug my trackball into that. Let's see, now I've got movement. All I have left to do is run the cables for the 4 cameras, mount the 4 cameras, and then aim them correctly. The USB cable is only used when you need to control the camera, otherwise it's pulled back through the wall. Be sure and watch for the next 3 videos mounting the cameras, using the system, and a wrap-up and a review. If you like the videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.